friends, welcome to another beautiful day out in the garden. Well, this is only a couple days after I just shot that last video and my netting for my brassicas has arrived. So I thought I'd bring you guys along and show you what I'm doing, show you what is happening, and show you what I'm doing. So in case anyone else is having this issue, we can try together. So I have seen so many other YouTubers, so many other gardeners who they plant their brassicas, which is broccoli, cabbages, cauliflowers, lettuces, kales, Brussels sprouts. They plant these plants. Every time they plant these, they immediately cover them because they have such bad aphids. So I planted mine and I've gotten cocky with it. Aphids don't find my stuff until it's mature, so I'm already harvested a good chunk of it. Like, sorry, don't do that. Don't do that. Aphids don't find my stuff. They found my stuff this year. So my brassicas have been in the ground for 2 weeks. We're going on 3 weeks and they're growing, but they are getting eaten to absolute shreds. So that's my first problem. My second problem is I think they got shocked. Now, our temperatures have been very erratic. We're at the end of April. My last frost is supposed to be within the next week or two, projected, but my 10-day has no nights below 50. Now, last night frosted. I think last night was the last frost. From here on out, we have, at least right now, no nights below 50. So that's fantastic. But we've gone up to the 80s, and we went down, I think we had 34 was the coldest we got a couple nights ago. So we've been all over the place. So I think that's really hitting my plants hard. So I bought fertilizer for my plants. When I planted them, I did put a whole bunch of rabbit fertilizer on it and worm castings, and I bought a new 10-10-10 fertilizer. I'm just not gonna do that right now because they are just getting so shocked. I have rebar, I have dirt all over my face. I'll explain in a second. So just, you know, don't mind the dirt. But I kind of just want to get these guys covered and kind of get them to kind of start growing again without having to fight for their lives. And then once they kind of get more settled, I can tell they're kind of happier, then I'll come in with another fertilizer and fertilize them. I think I have dirt everywhere. So let's explain. My hands are so dirty because I bought rebar to make what I'm going to call a mini hoop house. So I have said I was going to make one of these for a very long time, and I'm very excited that we're finally doing it. I've just never done it because the materials are expensive. So let's break down exactly what I've done. So I'm building one of these, like I said, I'm calling it a hoop coop. I don't actually know what it's called, but I'm building one of these and I'm gonna put insect netting on it to hopefully keep the aphids off of these brassicas. I also got the materials to cover my strawberry beds. I didn't get the PVC, but I got the rebar to cover the strawberry beds because the strawberry beds get eaten by the rabbits and the squirrels a lot. So I'm hoping doing this same thing on the strawberry beds is going to be helpful. So let's go over the price of the materials and then my thought process for both the brassicas and for the future. So I bought, they're like 36 inches. Let's see if I can show you. So I have them in right now. A 2-foot rebar, not even. This is hard to do with one hand. So the rebar I got, it's about a 36-inch piece. I was able to buy at Lowe's. And it was about $1.38 a piece. So I bought 6 of them for this hoop house, and then the PVC was $4 a piece. $4 and some change. So this whole setup is about 25 bucks maybe, not counting the netting. They only had 5-foot sections of PVC and 10-foot sections of PVC. I thought the 5-foot wasn't that bendable, but I thought the 10-foot would be fine for the brassicas. But when it comes to the strawberries, I'm probably gonna have to buy the 10-foot and cut them down because I don't need the strawberries to be quite this high. I'll stand up so you can see just how high it is. So it's pretty high. It's pretty tall. But for brassicas, I'm okay with that because brassicas are going to grow tall. So this will allow them to grow nice and tall. Can we just take note of Sawyer laying on the potato bed? Luckily, nothing's growing yet, so that's fine. So for this, I did get insect net, and let me show you. I did get a whole thing of insect net, and then I'm hoping it's going to be enough for both that section and the strawberries. It's a big old pile. I don't quite know how I'm attaching it. I think I needed clips and I didn't get clips. So that's okay. We'll rig something up, right? So that's gonna be for the summer. But then what I'm thinking, bear with me. I'm thinking I could turn that into a mini hoop house, and use it like a mini hoop house. So, or a high tunnel. So a high tunnel is used to extend the seasons. And so depending on where you are, you can actually garden in the high tunnel all year long. It keeps everything warmer in there, keeps the frost from touching your plants. Where I am in Pennsylvania, I'm in zone 7A, 6B. I'm like literally right on the line, depends who you ask. But I couldn't grow in that all year long. But I could probably extend my season and like extend my season on the back end and start it early on the front end by getting plastic, like a heavy sheet of plastic. And then there's a lot you can do if you save like your milk jugs. If you paint them black, fill them with water, they apparently radiate heat. Same with stones, put stones in there. So I think that's something that we could play with this fall in seeing if we could heat that long enough that I could extend, have maybe like another fall crop of broccoli and winter crop of maybe lettuces that I could take further into the end of the year. Right now my first frost is around the end of October. My first frost has been projected the first weekend in October. It's been coming about the middle to the end of October. So October I can typically grow through. November I'm out. So if I could extend this maybe even through the holidays before we really get cold at the end of December and early January, I think that'd be a really fantastic use of this space. So I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll see. But so I'm just gonna get this net in. I'm gonna cover this whole thing. I'm gonna try to attach it. I think again like a big clips would have been the way to go. I don't have big clips. So I brought out some twisty ties. We're gonna see. And then at the very least we're gonna cover it and then put some stuff on the edges to keep the wind from blowing it away. I did want to say, I bought, while I was at Lowe's, I bought neem oil. I've never used neem oil, but I've heard a lot about it. It's an organic product. It controls black spot, powdery mildew, rust, spider mites, aphids, whiteflies, and other insect pests. So I've heard a lot of people use neem oil, and I'm obviously getting it for the aphids. So I'm going to spray all the my brassicas with this neem oil in hopes that there's anything I'm going to trap in there with it that I can kill it. And then hope I'm giving these plants a second decent start. Another thing I'm going to do, I did this 2 years ago, loved it. We're going to do it again, is I bought ladybugs. It is still too early to buy ladybugs. I think probably about mid-May is when I'm going to do it. But I bought ladybugs 2 years ago, and they really cut down my pest pressure. So the fact that my aphids are so strong right now, I'm gonna go get some more ladybugs and put some more ladybugs in this garden. I think I actually bought them 3 years ago. I bought them a while ago, and I have seen them come back. We're just too early. It's still a little too cold for the ladybugs to be out right now, so they're not really helping. But I do want to go get another batch of ladybugs and see if we can't help combat some of this aphid pressure, because I've never ever had this issue. I have aphids at the end of the year. I've never had them in the beginning. And I do rotate. I'm very big on rotational. I always say rotational grazing. Dreaming of animals. Rotational planting. So that nothing gets planted in the same spot for like at least 2 years in a row. And I've never had brassicas over there, but it's close enough to the other garden beds where they've been in. The aphids aren't stupid. They know where to go for food. So I'm gonna spray these and then get this whole thing wrapped up real nice and tight. Okay, I think I got a good start. I'm gonna show you, I have everything kind of held down with logs. I think the better way to do this would have been to get some 2x4s. Didn't think of that until I started doing the logs, so we might fix it later. And I'll be honest, at this point it's not completely pest free. Once I get everything tightened, I might go back and play with it to see if I can't get all of the gaps closed. I don't think I'm gonna be able to unless without sealing the whole bottom. I'm definitely not gonna get it completely pest free, but hopefully it at least helps. That's the goal, it at least helps. So let me show you what my plants look like, and then I'm gonna spray them with neem oil, and then we're gonna get them closed up. So this is a cabbage And this actually doesn't look too bad. Like this leaf looks decent. This leaf, you can see this one is obliterated. This one's obliterated, but for the most part, you can tell it's a cabbage. Go here, that is a cauliflower. Can you tell? Some of them look way worse than others. I don't know what that is. I think that's a cauliflower. But it obviously doesn't look good. Something's going on with it. Broccoli, cauliflower. Yeah, so some of them, like that one, that's a cauliflower. It looks terrible. Terrible. So that last one was a cauliflower. And all of my cauliflower I bought from a nursery. And I'm wondering if these things were not hardened off. All of those things, minus the cabbages, I bought from a nursery. And my broccolis that I've planted in the ground, and I just planted them, but they don't look like that. They don't have aphids. They don't have anything. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe they weren't hardened off from the nursery, which is completely possible. So they should come back. They 100% look shocked. Now, is it shocked because of the sun because they weren't hardened off, or shocked because I did something wrong? That I don't really know. But we're gonna try to get them to come back as best we can. So like I said, I'm gonna get my neem oil. I'm gonna go spray. I'm gonna spray the whole thing. This kills eggs, larvae, and adult stages of insects. So let's try it. That was my knife. Ta-da! This looks so cool. I'm so excited. So it's not completely gap proof. I'm sure, I know for a fact, if I was a bug, I could find my way in. Right here, I see a gap. We're gonna try to close it. It's not completely gap proof. There are ways, I guarantee it, that a bug could get in there. But it is at least, they have to make the bugs work for it. I always say my parents live have a long driveway, and I always see the doors unlocked when I stay there. When I lived there, doors unlocked, truck unlocked. And I always said, if someone really wants to walk up this driveway, they deserve whatever's at the top. You're gonna put in that much effort, you deserve it. So if you're gonna put in this much effort to get into this, to find the gap, you kind of deserve it. But I think this looks great. I think I could 100% use more PVC that does kind of gap in this one here, and gaps in that one too. But I think that's okay. Well, I know that's okay. As small as these plants are right now, they don't care. And even as they get bigger, it'll be completely fine. It's not perfect. I'm not winning any gardener beauty contests, but hopefully it is effective. So stay tuned. I think I'm gonna get another log. I see a big hole. So let's get a piece of wood here. Well, I use that. Let's get another log. This is why I always have firewood at my house. I use firewood for so many things. Obviously I use it for burning, obviously, but I just made, not just, 2 or 3 years ago, I made the garden bed that's on the front of that garden up there, and it's lined with logs. These are logs I cut down a couple pine trees a couple years ago. Okay, hole successfully blocked. I cut a couple pine trees down a couple years ago, and I said, keep the wood, I'll use it. Well, pine doesn't burn, it just smolders and smokes. So I've used it in places like you can't really see. Let me go this way. Like in this bed here, it's lying in this bed. I need to trim so you can actually see it. I was all set to trim this weekend. I trimmed a little bit, and then I hate my weed eater. I have a gas oil weed eater, and you like pull it to start it, and I hate it. And I'm not somebody who just buys something because they don't like something. I'm like, it has to break first. So I've had it for probably 6 years. I hate it. I decided this weekend, I was only able to trim half of what I wanted to trim, and I decided I'm done. I don't care. I'm getting a new weed eater. So I'll trim that this weekend. You're not bothered by it, right? Doesn't bother you. Okay, well, it has gotten very dark here. Look at that sky. I don't know if you can tell. Look at that sky. You can't tell on the camera. It's really dark. I didn't think they were calling for rain this evening, but I'm not one to complain about rain when I have plants in the ground. So we're gonna let it rain, hopefully. So we're gonna go inside and get dinner together. What's nice about this will let rain in, wind in. It just is hopefully gonna keep out the pests, and that's it. So thank you guys for joining me on this getting rid of pests vlog. I don't know. But thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.